Hello, everybody, and welcome to February's LinkedIn Live in the Get Unstuck series. I am Sarah Archer. I'm a career and leadership coach, and I work with senior women to create the kind of career success that's right for them. So if you haven't joined me before, you are very welcome. And it's always nice to know if you are here live. Do let me know. Let me know where you are watching from. I'm in North London. And if you're watching on replay, hello, I know a lot of people do catch up later. The reason I created these 15-minute, very quick LinkedIn Lives is to give you a little bit of space in your working week to think about something that's important to you in your career or in your leadership career. Because I know, having been a senior leader, it's very hard to find that space. The day job is so full on to really think about where you're heading, what you want, what's important for you, what your challenges are, and how to manage them. So these sessions are always very practical. There's always something you can take away and implement straight away. And today is no exception. I also have a podcast called Unstuck and Unstoppable. So if you prefer to consume your content when you're out walking or at the gym or wherever, you can also tune into the podcast. There's very similar topics there as well. So let's dive into today's topic, which is what to do when you're feeling maybe a bit stuck. You're kind of wanting more in your career, but you're not sure what it is. How do you make that decision about what your next step or your next move is going to be? And I'm going to introduce you to a 4-step framework to help you work that through. So if you are feeling a bit stuck in your career at the moment, if you are feeling a bit, well, everything's going okay, I'm doing well, I'm respected, I'm being paid well, but there's just something missing or something doesn't feel right, or I'm kind of feeling a bit flat or unexcited about my role at the moment, then you're not alone. Lots of people feel that, but what we don't want to happen is to just make some kind of knee-jerk reaction and make a change without really having thought about what is going to be right for us. Because when that happens, two things can kick in. Either we can spend so much time researching the job market, looking at opportunities, looking at every possible next step, and then kind of get stuck because we get caught in overwhelm and we just don't know what to do next or what the right thing could be, and therefore we kind of get paralyzed. Or the other thing is we start sort of talking ourselves out of the feeling that we're feeling. So we think, well, I should just be grateful. I've got a good job. I'm being paid well. I should just be grateful that I'm in this role. And therefore we think that it's wrong, that we start to want more, and that we just keep ourselves then kind of stuck where we are. Because what you're feeling, that sense of restlessness or wanting more, it's data. It's telling you that something isn't aligned at the moment, something is missing for you, and therefore it's important to listen to that feeling and to explore it because that feeling is valid. And the mistake we make is to move forward without reflection. So to move forward without kind of doing the kind of analysis that I'm going to talk to you about today, which isn't just about logic. The analysis we're going to talk about is going to cover a number of areas that are important in making a career decision. Because if you move forward without having done that reflection, you kind of are at risk of career drift, where the move you make is not necessarily taking you where you need to be or where you want to be going. And therefore, your career can kind of follow other people's agenda or just drift in a way that's not going to be right for you in the longer term. If this is resonating, I would love to know. So give me a little thumbs up or a yes if this is something that you might be experiencing at the moment. It's always good to know where people are with this. And what I'm going to take you through now is this kind of 4-part decision framework to help you understand what's going on and what your right next move might be. So the first part of the framework is looking at the internal signals. Now, my dog is starting barking. I just need to let her out. Just bear with me 1 second. This is the perils of doing a live when you have a dog in the room in your office with you. So the first part of the framework is the internal signal. And that is, what is your energy telling you? Because this is really important information. So this is kind of thinking about what drains me. So I might be good at it, but does it actually give me energy? What does it feel like when I'm energized? And what am I doing when I'm energized? So what lights me up? And what do I really enjoy and look forward to doing? And I want to do more of, so where is your energy being pulled towards? And what are the elements that drain you? And what's the kind of proportion? Like, are you working mostly on 70% of stuff that drains you and only 30% of stuff energizes you? Because that's a lot of information to then be reflecting on. What does that mean? Or if maybe you are finding you're doing a lot of operational work, but the thing that lights you up is the strategy and the vision and the thinking about what next and the horizon scanning and the future planning, but you're not actually spending much time doing that. That's important information. So just noticing what your internal signals are, and also just reflecting a little bit on why those things might energize you or not energize you. So is it the type of work? Is it the people? Is it the culture or the clients? So just thinking about, what is it that's giving you more energy? So that's the first thing we're going to think about, is your internal signals. The second area we're going to be thinking about is experiential proof. And that's, what do your successes in your career reveal about you? Because we don't want to kind of be going on to autopilot and just repeating the same things. We want to understand, what is it that you feel most proud of? Where have you had the biggest impact? When do you feel like the work just flows for you, that you're in your element? And what are the patterns around those achievements? So we might want to think about repeating some of those, but we don't want to just unconsciously kind of on autopilot repeat some of those successes, because we need to be thinking about things like learning, growth, challenge as well as part of those successes, because you might be plateauing with those successes, and it might be thinking about, what do those successes tell me about what I need for the future? So that's our second area, is that experiential proof and the patterns, and what do they tell us about our successes? And then our third area is ambition. And that's about, what do you really want? And that's again where we're going to bring in things like, what kind of challenge do I want? What kind of impact do I want to have? What do I want to be learning in the next role? What do I want in terms of growth? So capturing those elements too is really valuable. And then our fourth area is the market reality. So what are the opportunities that actually exist for me? Because getting clarity is also about understanding what the market can offer you and how it can match your skills, experience, and energy, and also what you want. Because your credibility, your experience, your track record will be positioning you in a particular industry or role. So unless you're thinking, I need a complete change, you're likely to be looking for something that is, accessible, adjacent, but also fulfilling. But we also want to bring in your current role, because that reflective piece around your internal markers, your ambition, your experiential proof can also give you information about what's not working in your current role that could change. because it doesn't always mean you have to make a move. It could be about recrafting your current situation. So it could be around, okay, is it again people, the type of work, the culture, the opportunities that I could have in my current role? Is it worth me actually looking at how I could get more of what I need from my current role, or does it actually mean a step outside of where I am currently? So then when you bring those 4 elements together, so the internal markers, the experiential proof, your ambition, and the market reality, then you can join the dots and start to see what that next step might be, whether it's external to your current company or internal to your current company. And it also gives you some criteria, some decision-making criteria for evaluating whether potential opportunities are going to be right for you and are going to give you what you need. Now, I have a little framework that I'm very happy to send you. So if you comment ideal, if you're watching now, or you comment on the replay or send me a DM saying ideal, I will send you that little framework so that you can start gathering this information to help you with deciding what is going to be the right move for you next in your career. So just to kind of remember that sense of restlessness is data. It's not about failing in your career or being stuck. It's data. That's really important, that you need to look at the whole picture. So you need to look at your energy, your successes, your ambition, and the market, and then be able to connect the dots to understand what your next leadership move should be for you. Now, obviously, if you want help applying this framework to get that clarity, this is something I do all the time with my clients, then you just message me and I can help you translate that data, that information into what that next role is going to be for you. So I hope you found that useful. Don't forget, if you want to have sight of my framework, just to comment ideal or to message me ideal, and I will send that out to you. And I look forward to seeing you back here in a couple of weeks.